Alright, so because things are hella quiet on the GTA 6 front, I figured that this would be a great time to talk about something that I get asked constantly on stream, and that is what Rockstar is actually going to release after GTA 6. And I hear a lot of people say Red Dead 3 because that gets brought up constantly in my chat pretty much every single day. And there is a ton of rumor and speculations floating around about potential titles as well. So I actually want to take this time to actually break down what I think is realistic. And if you guys enjoy GTA 6 content or anything like this, please consider hitting that like button and maybe even subscribing because it really does help this channel out a lot. Now, a lot of people assume that we're not going to see another Rockstar game for another 10 or 15 years, but I actually don't think that's true at all. I remember hearing at some point, and I really do apologize because I can't exactly recall who specifically said it, but someone at Rockstar has expressed wanting to go back to releasing games more frequently instead of these massive gaps between releases. GTA 6 has essentially been their golden cow for the last decade plus, requiring all of Rockstar's energy and focus and resources. But once it's out, I really think that we're going to see them shift their attention towards other projects much sooner than people expect. And with that being said, I don't expect that we're going to get another GTA anytime soon. I think GTA 6 and its online component are going to be Rockstar's primary cash cow for probably the next 15 years. And that's actually where this whole thing gets interesting because Strauss Zelnick has actually said that Rockstar is very open to revisiting their older IPs. That statement that he made tells us that we're probably not going to get something totally brand new right out of the gate. Instead, we're probably looking at something like Red Dead 3, maybe a possible Bully sequel, or maybe even LA Noire 2. And personally, LA Noire 2 is actually my pick. And Zelnick made a comment recently where he basically said to never say never regarding that franchise. And I think when a CEO phrases something like that, I think it tells you that there's a real possibility sitting somewhere on their roadmap that might actually happen. And we might eventually see another LA Noire game. Now, I also know that there's a lot of rumors that are floating around about Rockstar making some kind of medieval game. And look, is that technically possible? Yeah, it is technically possible because Rockstar can essentially do whatever they want. But personally, I just don't see that happening because if you look at their entire track record, Rockstar consistently gravitates towards stories that are more rooted in like modern American life, where there's crime, corruption, greed, conspiracy. Even when they go back in time for something like Red Dead, it's still the same kind of vibe that they have in their newer games or their more modern games. And a massive part of their identity as a studio is built around gunplay. Shooting mechanics are their bread and butter across nearly every major release. I mean, sure, you could argue that like bows and arrows in a medieval setting could kind of do the same thing, but for me personally, I don't think Rockstar is going to stray that far away from the gun era that they've built their entire identity around. Now, I know that some of you might be very upset to hear this, but I really also don't think we're getting another Bully game, and the reason actually comes down to controversy. So what people don't know is that after GTA 6 releases, Rockstar is going to be under an intense amount of scrutiny. GTA 6 might honestly end up being one of the most controversial games ever released. And I think that we're going to see a lot of backlash that's going to be directed at Rockstar regarding kids playing the game. So if they turned around and made another Bully game where you're predominantly playing as children characters, right? I think that would put them in serious hot water regardless of how good the game itself might actually be. So I just don't see them taking such a big risk with making a Bully game in today's climate and the world that we're living in. So if you were to put a gun in my head and ask me what I think is actually coming next, I really think that it's a 50-50 split between Red Dead 3 and LA Noire 2. And I could be absolutely and utterly wrong about this, and Rockstar could just surprise everyone with something completely different. But out of everything that's currently being discussed, those two feel like the most realistic candidates. And Red Dead is one of their most successful franchises outside of GTA. And if we're talking purely from a business and profitability standpoint, Red Dead 3 is without a question the smarter move. If Rockstar wants to, take a slightly bigger creative swing while still leaning on a older IP that is pretty loved by a lot of people, I would say LA Noire 2 would be my close second pick. But something that I want to personally throw in here, because why not? We're talking about this stuff anyways. If you asked me what kind of game I think Rockstar could absolutely knock out of the park, I would say a full-blown cyberpunk style game set in the future would be incredible. We've already seen glimpses of futuristic vehicles and concepts inside of GTA Online. And even though a lot of people hated that type of stuff, I really think that if Rockstar built an entire game around futuristic themes, they would completely dominate that entire space and potentially create one of the best cyberpunk games ever made. The odds of that actually happening, though, are pretty damn slim. But I would seriously not complain if that's what they did. But now I want to hear from you. What would you personally love to see Rockstar make after GTA 6? What franchises are you hoping make a comeback? Let me know down in the comments, and I'm really curious what everyone is hoping for. And hey, just letting you know that I live stream every single night at 12:30 Eastern Time if you guys ever want to come and hang out and talk about GTA 6. It's a great little community if you want just somebody to talk to and play video games with while we all wait for this game together. And if you want a solid community to talk about everything GTA 6 related, or honestly just other games in general, come join the Discord because the link is in the description and I would love to have you there. But like I always say, stay healthy, stay safe, and I will see you in Vice City.